MGM Grand Conference Center here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. This is boxing presented by Bob Arum's Top Rank. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the featherweight division. Judges at ringside, Tim Cheatham, Max DeLuca, and Dave Moretti. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Vic Draculich. Fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 124.9 pounds. He's wearing tan trunks with white trim. He brings a record of 25 wins, 2 losses, 16 wins by way of knockout. From Barranquitas, Puerto Rico, Christopher Pitufo Diaz. Fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 126 pounds even, wearing gold trunks with red trim. He brings a record of 15 wins, 1 defeat, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. From Albuquerque, New Mexico, Jason El Alacrancito Sanchez.
All right, gentlemen, you received your infection dressing room. You're going to want to caution. Any punch below this point are going to be called low. Any punch below this point will be called low. That said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourself at all times.
Thank you.
Good luck to both of you guys.
Remember, you can go to espn.hearmecheer.com to participate live and have your voice and your cheering heard during this co-feature fight. espn.hearmecheer.com. Well, there is some urgency with Christopher Diaz, Tim, because he laid out a clear plan of saying, listen, I got 5 years left in the game. I am out when I'm 30. I can get myself down to 122 pounds. He'd love to obviously fight for a title at 126. He says the names Jesse Magdaleno, Mick Conlon could be lined up. Or if Navarrete wants it, he's glad to go to 122 pounds. He wants any shot he can get to get it done and then step away from the game. But for that to happen, you have to impress tonight.
Yes, you're going to have to impress tonight. You know, Sanchez is no slouch. He can box. He can also pressure you and fight in the inside. You know, Diaz, you know, what I'm looking for him is I'm looking for the jab usage. You know, I've watched him in many of his fights, previous fights. He doesn't use his jab. He doesn't set up his offense. He sits directly in front of guys. So tonight, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for him to establish his jab and don't get hit and don't stand directly in front of guys. And as we see right there, he's moving around a lot more this time around. Huh?
Yeah, we will monitor those jab numbers. Came with a right hand behind the jab that time that came up short. Sanchez has overcome a lot in life. Sanchez had the death of his brother that greatly affected to him. He was a pro fighter, Alan Sanchez. He passed away over 4 years ago in a car accident. And then his family lost their home in a fire. His older brother is a pro boxer. His father trains.
You know, Tester, in these early rounds, you know, it's these guys are trying to find their distance, and you know they're trying to land their jabs and just trying to get comfortable in there and finding their rhythm. So a lot of these early rounds, you know, guys will just take the time and just to look at a fighter and see what he's trying to do, so that way he can alter his game plan. Obviously, right now, both guys are looking to box. That's what I see right now. Both guys are looking to box. They're not looking to take a lot of chances.
There's a right. Yes, first time we've seen Freddie inside the bubble here at the MGM Grand Conference Center. Round number 2 of our co-feature between Sanchez and Diaz.
Both these guys they're boxing because of their last performances. You know, when Sanchez fought against Valdez, you know, he came forward. he got hit with a lot of punches. He said he went back to the drawing board and, you know, he's going to, you know, look to establish his jab this time and box a little bit more and don't get hit with simple shots. And Diaz, he said that he learned a lot from fighting against Stevenson. You know, hit and don't get hit style. He said it was frustrating fighting Stevenson, and he said, hey, I'm going to take something from that. I'm going to box. So I think that's why we're seeing both these guys, instead of mixing it up like they normally do, they're looking to pick their spots wisely.
Clean. Watch that head in there.
See, that sequence right there doesn't seem like much, but what I like about that sequence was that Diaz was really reactive in that moment. You know, he knew Sanchez was going to let his hands go, and he was prepared with the counter. And that's being a step ahead of your opponent, ladies and gentlemen.
Came over the top with the right hand as well in that last exchange. Right hand to the body to a retreating Christopher Diaz. Trying to work his way in behind the jab through the right hand.
Beautiful counter right there from Diaz. Nice little two-piece. Catching Sanchez as Sanchez commits with the jab. I think the speed of Diaz is what's giving Sanchez a little bit of problem. You know, he's still trying to figure out the distance and timing because of the speed of Diaz. So you see him a little bit more on his back foot.
Diaz inching forward, probing with that jab. And then splits the guard, just pops one off the hip. Bernardo, what is Freddie Roach saying in that corner with Christopher Diaz?
He says, I want him to double up on the jab, put him up against the ropes. He brings back his jab low, so he's there for the overhand right. That's what he wants Christopher Diaz to do here in round 3.
Christopher Diaz is pop shotting on the outside. You know, he's looking for the open. He's trying to make Sanchez create that opening for him. That's why he's just pop shotting. He's getting out of distance and he come in distance. He's looking for that shot, that overhand right that Freddie Roach is talking about.
All right, you all right? Yeah. You okay? Yeah. Right.
Good jab by Sanchez.
Tripled it up.
Sanchez is staying really disciplined. You know, he's not looking to load up with big shots. He's looking to stay consistent behind his jab and stay underneath his feet, which is good. He just needs to get a little bit busier with his offense against Diaz.
But it's falling in line with what he said he would do. He kept stressing just fighting smart.
Yeah, it's one thing to fight smart. It's one thing to fight smart, Tess, but, you know, if you're getting outworked you know, that becomes a problem. If you're thinking too much, that becomes a problem.
Yeah, you got to hit the gas
That's
pedal
why
a bit.
Yes, Tess, you have to be reactive in there. You work on these combinations and things in the gym. If you see it, you got to let it go.
Hurry into Sprouts Farmers Market for your favorite.
And Diaz. You know, Tim, we talk about countering opportunities. Diaz did nice work going to the body with the left hook in that last round.
Yes, you see Diaz as he pulls and then comes back to the body. And, you know, one thing I got to say about this is that when, you know, a clean counterpunch, when you don't receive any kind of offense back, that's when it's perfectly placed. Good job with that left hook to the body by Diaz.
Bernardo, what are they saying in the corner of Jason Sanchez?
His father Pepe saw exactly what Timmy saw, and he said, you do have to let your hands go, but with not so many hooks. You got to use straight shots, short punches, stay behind your jab.
And the reason why Sanchez's father said that you don't want to throw too many hooks is because Diaz has a big left hook. And we are taught in boxing, when you have a fighter, you're facing a fighter with a big left hook, you don't want to exchange hooks with him. Diaz is really putting his focus down to the body of Sanchez, trying to bring down that guard and trying to take a little air out of those sails. You know, Diaz now is trying to, he's faking, what he's doing is he's faking Sanchez out. You know, he's posturing, he's moving back and forth, trying to confuse him, and Sanchez is falling for the tricks. All Sanchez got to do is come behind the jab and throw his combination, and he's going to land.
Tim, more consistent work we saw in that last round from Christopher Diaz that you liked.
Yes, a counterpunch is typically thrown from the same side a punch is thrown for. Here he is. This is called a pull counter. He fakes with the jab, boom, comes back with the left hook and then right hand. And then he follows out Sanchez with the jab, hits him with that jab and blinds him with the jab and comes behind him with the right hand. Great work by Christopher Diaz. You know, Diaz can really turn it up in there. I mean, he's looking good. He's looking flashy. He's pop shotting on the outside. But if he wants to, he can turn it up on Sanchez. Sanchez looks a little bit disoriented, you know, and just trying to figure out how to get to him. In other words, Sanchez is thinking too much instead of fighting.
Right hand comes in from Diaz behind the jab. Sanchez.
You see right there in that sequence right there, you see Sanchez, Tess, you see Sanchez throw about 3 or 4, 5, 6 jabs and then steps back. Why did he step back? He should have kept throwing. He was touching Diaz.
Yeah, he earned the position.
He was hitting him.
That time Diaz utilizing
Nice angle out right there.
Yeah, utilizing his legs to get out the door.
Yes. But what I liked, he took 2 steps back and then he turned the corner. That's what I like about it. He just didn't go straight back that time.
It's a left hand that landed in the midst of that exchange. And he steps to him.
Right clean.
And a 5 scheduled for 10 as Chris Diaz tries.
But this guy tonight is controlling the terms of combat. He's more skillful, he's more precise, and above all, he's controlling the distance.
That's what Sanchez needs to do. He needs to get close, but Sanchez needs to stay away from that. The right hand of Diaz, because Diaz is landing that punch often, and the left hook. As you see, Sanchez loading up for a right hand. It gets caught right in between with the left hook from Diaz. But as I was saying, you saw in the beginning of that round, you saw Sanchez come out and throw like 6 body shots on Diaz. That's what he needs to do. He needs to get his hands going. A lot of you saying, like, what is Diaz doing? He's poking, he's probing with the jab. Yes, he is. He's posturing. What he's doing is he's trying to get Sanchez to commit, to open himself up so he can catch him with a counter.
Head up. Head up. Let's go.
When you're fighting a guy like Diaz that has tremendous speed and great accuracy, what you want to do is you want to pay attention to his body. The head moves, the feet move, but the body doesn't. And if you focus your attention to his body and start tagging his body, he's going to slow down eventually. Sanchez is doing a lot of head hunting, and a lot of head hunting, and he's going to miss every time. Nice counter right there from Sanchez.
Right hand comes in from Sanchez as Diaz was off the mark. He was able to counter. Chases him down behind that double jab. Earlier in the evening during the first fight that we broadcast, the corner of Elaman Olguin used a racial slur when addressing Olguin. We apologize that remark made air. Nevada Athletic Commissioner Bob Bennett immediately spoke with that corner, and our ringside reporter Bernardo Osuna spoke with Bob Bennett. Bernardo, what did he tell you?
Bob Bennett told me that first off, he admonished the gentleman, then he kicked him out of the venue, and now is going to include a watch your language talk as part of a pre-fight instructions for all corners from now on, because they've got to understand that what you yell, what you say is being broadcast over the air more than ever because there are no fans to drown out the sound. Not that that would ever be appropriate to say that anyway.
So immediate action taken by Executive Director Bob Bennett, who heads up the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
Okay.
It seems now that Sanchez just figured out where he needs to be and what he needs to do consistently to be able to land and be effective on Diaz. You know, a lot of times when there's a lot of space involved and guys are, stepping back and they looking and posing at one another, look like they're taking photos, the person that typically uses the jab normally wins those moments. You don't see Patufo really shooting his jab often. He's probing with it, but not often. But Sanchez, that's what he needs to do. Get on top of his jab, and throw some feints in there as well if he wants some punches to be cleared from Diaz and then counter.
Sanchez is landing 15% of his jabs. That's a low number, but to your point, it's not necessarily what you land, it's the effectiveness of what the jab can offer.
Yes, Tess. The effectiveness of what the jab can offer and what it sets sets the table. And everything else is the cleanup.
Break! No hold. Keep going.
They will have 3 inside the quarantine bubble at the MGM Grand Conference Center, and now he is the headliner in moments. Sanchez and Diaz, round number 8.
If I'm in Sanchez's corner right now, I'm telling him right now, you need to make Diaz uncomfortable. If you frustrate your opponent and make him make mistakes, it will offer up opportunities. Diaz is sitting back. When he's sitting back, he's getting picked off. When he's aggressive, he's the boss.
This is our left-hand counter from Diaz. Sanchez trying to punch between punches there.
But Sanchez, he needs to be first and he needs to be last, Tess. Diaz is looking for the counter in between. Yes, you might get caught with one shot, but you got to follow up with your combination. That's called being a real pro.
Sanchez with success on the inside. And back to the jab for Diaz.
See, those moments right there for Sanchez are good moments. They're great moments. He's landing offense, but then what does he do? He steps back, and that's the problem that I'm having with Sanchez. Seems like he's running out of ideas once he lands. Good counter right there from Diaz. Catching Sanchez as he overcommits with his jab.
It's a right hand from Sanchez that scored.
Break! Listen to my command, okay? You hit me first. Okay.
Okay.
Diaz is boxing very smart tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And he's using his jab well. I love his step back, making Sanchez fall short. I love his counters in between the punches of Sanchez. Doing really good work tonight. He looks very smooth and comfortable at this weight.
85 connect advantage as we start round number 9.
You know, Sanchez comes out aggressive and you know, steals the first 10 seconds of the round, and then, you know, then he just, I don't know, gets inconsistent, you know, throughout the round. That's what he needs to do. Step up the tempo. Tess, you always must need to, you know, figure out a way to counter, even when it's tough. Because if you don't, your opponent will get comfortable and confident in doing what he is doing and do what he wants to do. And that's Diaz right now. He's comfortable and he's confident in what he's doing.
And a well-placed left hand moments ago. Bernardo, what are they saying in the corner of Sanchez? What instructions are they giving him?
His father is saying, look, first I need you to relax. I need you to get inside, but let your hands go. You're doing better. I need you to pressure, and we need to win these next 2 rounds. That overhand right is there for you, but also work the body when you get inside.
He's got to get to the inside to be able to work the body.
It's a lot easier said than done.
So the right
one thing I
hand for
can tell you
Diaz.
is Diaz is looking sharp. His eyes are wide open. He sees everything coming from Sanchez, and he's making him pay anytime he can overcommit.
And then he dips to the left and digs with the left hand and then goes upstairs with it. Sanchez fires
Diaz is smooth right now. He's in the rhythm, baby. He's in the rhythm, Tess. Call that harmonious right now. That's what it is. Sweet work from Diaz. You know, he's making this fight a lot easier than Valdez, and Valdez was the champion at 126.
Valdez did score a knockdown against Sanchez. That came with a left hook. Jason was very determined that night. And the rest of Diaz's corner bubbling with confidence and just wanting to stay the course. Nelson Rodriguez in there saying, time to shine, just keep boxing, doing what you're boxing, doing what you've been doing. We've got this thing.
And Diaz looks world-class tonight. You know, he's so reactive in there.
Got the tape coming off the right
Everything
glove
Sanchez
right now.
do. Everything Sanchez do, he's reacting to it. He has an answer. That's so discouraging, being the fighter on the receiving end.
Coming in. Stop! Stop! Time.
Yeah, Vic Draculich is going to take time to deal with the tape on the right glove. That's going to fall right in line with the kind of win that Diaz wanted to grab tonight. And then he says, I want a named fighter. I want Jesse Magdaleno. I want Mick Conlon. If I have to go down to 122 pounds, I'll do that to get myself a big name and a title shot.
Man, his speed and movement is allowing him to facilitate this ring, baby. He looks phenomenal tonight, Diaz. Tess. Oh, big overhand right there.
Now stepping to Sanchez. Left hook Right hand fills the gap, blood coming from the nose of Sanchez.
Quickly,
No.
quickly.
We can't deny the toughness of Sanchez. Sanchez is doing everything he possibly can to stay in this fight. You know, he's taking some big shots from Diaz, and he's responded well, like a true fighter, like a true we're gonna call him quote unquote champion, I should say, even though he's not a champion. Diaz is really comfortable. You see him in the southpaw stance now, looking to land a backhand on Sanchez.
Thought his confidence really showed through in that 10th round too. Had some good moments. Landed 9 power punches.